Hello, sister, and welcome to this free training on Sophianic Grid Work and the secret key ingredient to resurrecting the grids through your Sophianic expression, which is your voice and the sound that you're able to make with your voice when your Sophianic light body architecture is online, activated, and you have a deep connection with the Holy Mother and her sound. So, as we are preparing to enter into the cathedral for our experience of the living prayer, song, and grid work ministry inside Sanctuary of Sophia, this element of the cathedral and of Sophianic grid work is a very deep instrumental part of the process, where your voice is the instrument that resurrects Sophia in the grids. And I've been reflecting on this for a while, and I've been in prayer around this particular topic when it comes to Sophianic grid work. And I haven't really spoken much about it because it's such a mystery, and it's truly a mystery school teaching and codex of Sophianic oracle arts when it comes to grid work. And so it's been a delicate thread that I've been weaving of how do I share this and how do I bring this forward? And so as we're preparing for the cathedral and our first live training later this week, as I was in prayer with God, I could feel this transmission starting to come through, and God encouraging me to put this together in a video format, in a type of training format, so I can actually use my voice to speak into what Sophianic grid work really is, like through the lens of the Sophianic oracle, through the shamanic oracle, who is working with the land and Gaia Sophia, and literally resurrecting and also dismantling fallen grids, right? Dismantling fallen grids and resurrecting the true Christ Sophia union grids and the frequency of the one true living God source, organic source coding with the feminine Christ voice. So, grid work is, of course, a process where we are in our power and we are using our spiritual gifts. And the voice is part of that, with commanding and allowing God to speak over the grids through you, where your voice is the instrument and you are, commanding within your spiritual authority that you have cultivated through your relationship with God, through your initiations, and you are utilizing your voice to evict what needs to be evicted out of the grids, and then reclaim, resurrect, restore, build, create what God is guiding you through. So your voice is an instrumental tool when it comes to grid work. Naturally, what we begin to shift into as women who are holding the Sophianic coding, the feminine Christ coding architecture and templates, is the beautiful orchestration of singing, toning, and expressing the voice through the frequency of the Holy Mother, allowing Sophia to sing through you, to speak through you. Now, if you've ever worked with me before, you know that whenever I hold a ceremony or a session, whenever I'm holding the field and beginning to facilitate an experience, I always ask God to speak through me, sing through me, move through me, flow through me, allowing to be the instrument for God to utilize me. And I surrender my ego will to God's divine will. This is a practice I've been doing for many years now. And while it's very deeply embodied, it also supports the architecture of the space to speak that over the collective field and signaling to the experience that I am, as Alasia, surrendering my ego will to divine will and allowing the shift to be witnessed, and also give everyone else in the space permission to also do that if they wish to participate in that way. Like when we're going in these grid work assignments, we'll be doing that. And so when you start to allow your voice to come through, your pure, angelic, Sophianic voice, which is different than the voice that is connected to your personality matrix, your 3D personality, and the aspects of maybe how you've sang before, etc. Your Sophianic voice is different, and it may not fit into the boxes of, the 3D understanding of voice work, performance art, etc. Sophia's sound is the primordial sound field of God. Sophia, as the feminine aspect of God, the sound came first. And when you are able to allow your relationship with the Holy Mother to support your voice emanation, there are things that you will unlock within your own process of remembrance and how you embody your power and your gifts through your voice, not only through singing and toning, but also through self-expression and how you speak life over yourself and how you speak your truth, how you are able to carry your medicine and express it, and to be that, mouthpiece of God, if that is what God is asking you to do, to use your voice in service. But in terms of grid work, there are song lines and song codexes that are held in the grids, buried. Sometimes they're also under siege, and that's why we have to evict in order to extract what's there, right? That only the voice of Sophia, through an anointed and activated, initiated Sophianic woman, can unlock. And it is through your voice that you will begin to sing these codexes home and begin to resurrect architecture through the grid systems that are the true organic source architectural coding of the Holy Mother. So the best way to explain this is like through the liberation of Sophia and her voice, like she's literally utilizing us as her daughters, Daughters of Sophia, which, as you know, is a deep codex I hold within Sanctuary of Sophia. The Daughters of Sophia, she's utilizing the Daughters of Sophia to go out into the world, to go into these grids and to begin to sing and express themselves as she's like co-creating with you, right? As the mother, or like coming up through her womb, right? Where you'll begin to sing, and your organic mother tongue and angelic codes from the mother, from the heavenly mother, will start to unlock certain things within the grid, and also set apart new structures that can be built on that grid, because you're returning the mother through her truest organic essence, which is her voice, her sound. Sophia is the sound. So Sophianic grid work is about accentuating and sunlighting your voice and your organic sound and your womb song, to send it out into the collective field, into the grids, to be able to heal the land, heal the trauma, shut down dark portals, collapse the SRA tunnels, resurrect Holy Mother architecture, restore the organic frequency and coding, restore the elementals, and begin to radiate the love of the Holy Mother, which that is what this ascension is about. It's about the reunification with the Father and with the Mother. And because the suppression of Sophia on the planet has been, you know how it's been. I'm not going to go into all of that, but returning her to the grids through her voice and singing to the plants with the plants as well, and allowing the sound field of the mother to form in the grids is going to allow people to feel her, remember her, heal their mother wounds, and also to receive all the gifts from the Holy Mother that people are desperately needing. And the feminine Christ on the planet, those of us that are called to this work and to resurrecting not only like ourselves and remembering who that we are and our power and our remembrance of being a daughter of Sophia and of like truly being the feminine Christ embodied in devotion to God and to Christ, but also allowing Gaia Sophia to be uplifted and freed. That's what the guardians like us, the grid worker guardians that are here, boots on the ground, right? We're working with our guardian teams to do this. So this is an aspect of grid work that is deeply instrumental to the rise of the feminine on this planet, to the primordial dragon mother consciousness. And it truly will alchemize what is out there in terms of inorganic energies, AI, demonic energies, all of the things, you know, that are not of God, that are, you know, these frequencies that are being pushed out into the earth to control, manipulate, harvest people, assimilate people into the fallen timeline. But when we are choosing the organic ascension timeline, when we are choosing God's new earth, God's kingdom, and we are allowing God to use us as a vessel, as an instrument of change through our voices, things start to shift. Now, what does it mean for you when your Sophianic voice starts to come online? Well, first of all, I like my whole body is like lighting up right now. It's a huge reclamation for your voice, but also for your womb, because your womb and your voice are deeply connected. And so when your voice starts to get activated and your womb song starts to be able to actually come up through your voice, you're going to be able to access parts of yourself and come home to yourself in ways that you couldn't before. You're going to be able to heal and to reclaim and nurture yourself in ways that allow you to step into new realities, new relationships out of deep self-worth and respect for your own voice. When you respect your voice and when you allow your voice to emanate the essence that you hold. And so it's a very deep reclamation of the voice because of the persecution on the throat. Some of you were in my membership before I closed it. I held the sovereign voice ceremony, which was a very deep ceremony of healing on the throat and the Sophianic restoration of the voice. And it was a very, very deep experience. And when you reclaim your vocal cords and when you go through these processes of unburdening your throat. And you're doing that with the grids. When you are singing with the land, when you are called to a grid work assignment and you're being invited to use your voice to sing, you're going to be able to do things that only your voice can unlock through that sound field, through the toning. It's not a performance. It doesn't have to be perfect. You all know, if you've worked with me, when I'm doing grid work, my voice can get very wild. It can get very primal. I can often sound like, a 90-year-old medicine woman with her pipe, and her rattle. Sometimes it'll be very light and ethereal, almost childlike. It's what the grid needs when you are allowing yourself to be sung by the mother. And this is what I'm going to be initiating you into inside the cathedral. So, as you know, I've gone through a very deep process with my own voice. My voice has been targeted since I was a child. I had a lot of persecution on my voice, and even singing, and being absolutely terrified of singing, even though I wanted to so badly and I loved it and I dreamed of it, but absolutely terrified. And I didn't know why. Now, of course, after doing so much work, I understand a lot of deep understanding of how much my voice was persecuted. And I'm not going to talk about that here, but for me to now be at this point where I've literally, I studied with my beautiful mentor, Eliza, with Song of Sophia for a couple of years in her school and in her trainings to support the reclamation of my Sophianic voice. And to be at a point now that after many, I would say I've devoted the last, what year is it? The last 6 years of my journey to freeing my voice. And the grid work aspect of it was a huge part of allowing my voice to be sung. And now, some of you know I have some songs on SoundCloud, as a starting point, which in a million years I never would have dreamed to release original songs. And I have over in my song library, like over, God, now probably like 300 original songs that have come through that I'm going to be recording and releasing albums in perfect divine timing, because I am a songstress of the Grail. That is a huge part of my destiny. And it is through the grids that I've retrieved my voice back and working in this too. So if you desire to really allow your voice to come in, even if you don't have dreams of being a songstress or, using your voice in ways, but just like your artistry of your voice, with your writing, with your poetry, with your singing, with your songwriting, with the way that you express yourself. If you want to be a speaker, a teacher, a leader with your voice, and you want to also remember the temple art of singing together in sisterhood and singing in ceremony and allowing your voice to remind you of who you are and to also alchemize the deepest pain. I just had a sister reach out to me, beautiful sister client, ask how could she alchemize this deep grief and rage that she has been experiencing. And I was like, through your voice, you sing it. And so this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be teaching you how to do this. We're going to be activating your voice. I'm going to be teaching you more about this. And it's also deeply connected to your prayer priestess experience as well, of being able to receive and then speak these cosmic prayers over the grids and over your family, and then watching the miracles happen. When your voice starts to unlock, you're going to have a new language that comes through, not just through light language, but actual new language, new literally new words and essences and language patterns that can come in that are going to allow you to connect with your higher self experience and expression of how you speak. The way you speak about yourself and your life is going to change because it's a higher self expression through the voice, through the Sophianic voice. And as you know, our words have creative power, and what we speak over our life is what we experience, which is why we don't ever want to speak negative things over our lives over and over again, because that is what will continue to, anchor that program in. That is why we say, like, we are speaking life over us. And so all of this is going to be weaving through the cathedral. And regardless if you join us or not, I hope you do. I hope that if you're called and you want to come in, that you say yes. It's really an incredible group of women that we have gathering, and I would be so honored to support you. This is such a big assignment, a big project that we're all working on together, and it's really going to be a special experience, and it's part of my legacy. And this is the first round, and it's going to be a really powerful 6 weeks of live training together. And then you get all the foundational medicine trainings too, which have been activating me so much. And I, and I've taught them so many times, but I'm in a different position now within my leadership, that the architecture that is coming through for the cathedral is so massive that I'm going through my own awakening and remembrance, even just by teaching it, So for you to receive it, it's going to be massive in your Sophianic reclamation and your feminine Christ embodiment. And so if you are feeling the call, I would absolutely love for you to join us. It doesn't matter what level of like grid work you're at. If you've done grid work for a while, but you want to learn how to do it with the Sophianic oracle lens of how to really, work the grids with Sophia and your voice, and being that prayer priestess energy, and really going into grid work through the feminine Christ passageway, I'd love to invite you in. Or if you're just dipping your toe in and you have a deep calling to grid work and this is resonating with you, trust yourself, lean in, listen to your soul, allow your soul to speak to you. You'll know if it's for you or not. And but either way, regardless if you join us in the cathedral, I want to just encourage you to use your voice and to know that your voice is powerful. And as you reclaim your voice, you're going to awaken parts of your soul that have been longing to come home and to be integrated in, that can only be integrated in through your voice in your womb. And so it's a huge part of Divine Feminine Reclamation. Oh, I'm like clearing so much right now because I can just feel the impact of our collective voice when we speak out against things, when we speak up for things, when we advocate for ourselves, our children, people we love, this earth. The voice is a tool of advocacy. And when the voice is sovereign and when she is awakened and she's connected to the mother, the impact is prolific. It will be prolific. Sophia is prolific. And when she is in with you in a way that you are weaving with her and you are in this beautiful relationship, the instrument of your voice will come alive and just mesmerize and delight you, and like all your feminine senses of what will come out of your mouth and your voice, especially when you start singing your womb song. So let me know how this landed for you. I honor you, sister, your journey. And just know that if I can resurrect my voice, sing in public, sing in ceremony in front of other women in sacred ceremony in the temple, if I can put out my own original songs on SoundCloud that are recorded on my phone, because that has been my life, in the RV. All of those songs were recorded in the RV in the middle of the night, just singing with God. If I can resurrect my voice after years of being terrified and just being so judgmental of my voice, if I can sing and share, so can you. And what it will awaken in you will just really bring you into your highest destiny, because the feminine is the sound. It's like we are the sound, and the voice is the most powerful instrument. So blessings on your journey. of reclaiming your voice. And if you are called to the Cathedral, you can click the link below and check it out, sign up, send me a message. Or if you want to learn more about my one-to-one transformation container, it's called The Breeze. It's so fun. Easy breezy. You can reach out to me. We can work together one-to-one on your voice and your womb reclamation. So much love, and I will see you next time.